Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Yo, Yoroshiku, welcome to episode 645 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, where our sole mission is to make your anime addiction worse. I am your host, Pope Dark Schneider, joining you today on the show. And I am joined by a fantastic crew. They are also magically powerful in and of themselves. We have Mason.
Why are we all crimson today? Why are we all wearing red? How did that happen?
It's because Dark Schneider only casts fire and lightning magic. Don't you know that? So.
Yeah, I guess so. Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I am excited to talk about lots of anime today.
We also have the magical, the unmatchable, the unflinchable Caroline. How are you?
I am doing pretty well, but we can't say that because there's probably going to be because of how this review is probably going to go. And it's probably going to involve a lot of innuendos on Mitsuki's part. I unfortunately have no jelly beans. All I can do is just cringe from Mr. Pope Dark Schneider as he has been for the past week.
Oh, no!
Would you like to see my Dark Schneider?
Mitsuki, don't start this.
Okay. Hey, guys, if you want to follow us on social media, twitch.tv/AAA podcast, live Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Discord. We have a brand new forum on the Discord where people gamble on, I think, things that we'll say or do on the podcast. It's very degenerate, so
it's amazing.
Yeah, so you can get on there and do that.
I can't believe it's a thing.
Well, it is a thing. It's a thing now. So, also, I am working on getting us hooked up with Amazon affiliates. I think that it makes sense. People that don't have the money to support the podcast, because this is not a great financial time for pretty much anybody. People still buy stuff on Amazon. You'll be able to click the link. It'll take you to Amazon, and then we'll get a cut of everything that you buy. And it's like sticking it. You help the podcast, and you stick it to Amazon at the same time. That's right. You stick it to the man, you help the podcast, and you buy this shit. Hey, you bought toilet paper? We'll take 10 cents of that. Anyway, so we're working on that. But, guys, we have an unbelievable packed episode today for you. We're going to be doing our fall 2022 anime selections. Boy, there's a big list of stuff. We're going to do a review on Bastard, Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, which is a Netflix show that we're going to be the source of much conversation on the Discord this week, and that'll be interesting much later in the show. And a comical number of just ridiculous anime that are being released that they just decided to dump truck it on us this morning. They're like, here's 93 anime coming out. So we're going to cover all of it, sort of. I'm going to mostly read the ones that are coming out, but boy, what a week. So we better get this thing started. Everybody ready? You're holding on to your pants?
I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm just going to have to jump in.
I am wearing pants today, you'll be happy to know, and they are Ninja Turtle
Whoa.
pants. That's right.
In this episode?
Yep.
In the Dark Schneider episode, You're wearing pants?
Yep. That's right.
I don't know if that works. I really don't know if that works.
As Dark Schneider would put it at the end of that anime, it does curl all the way up to his belly button, but I'm wearing pants nonetheless. Oh, Caroline.
I don't even know what that means.
It's time for big news of the week.
Oh, big news. My God, there's so many new anime coming out, including a new Rurouni Kenshin TV anime. Unreal. There isn't any more manga to adapt of this series, so I guess I watched the trailer. It looks an awful lot like a remake of the previous TV anime. I will say that the animation and accuracy of the character models, the setting, etc., they all look good. I thought Kenshin looked good. Kaoru looks good. Seiji Ohiko, he looked good. So I'm tentatively excited for a remake of an anime that already is pretty well loved. So, it's from director. None of the staff is the same though. I mean, this is an old anime. Studio Dean did it, way back in 1998. Is when it ended really. So all the director, the series composition, the studio, the voices, I think everything will be different. The question is, do we really need this? That's my question. There's a lot of Kenshin movies. We already have a very long Kenshin anime, even though half of it sucked because it's all mostly filler garbage after the Kyoto arc. And there's a bunch of OVAs. So, I mean, do you guys have an opinion? Do we need a Rurouni Kenshin remake at this stage of things? It hasn't been that long.
No,
As
not
someone
really.
who's never seen Rurouni Kenshin, I cannot say.
So I did make a comment, thank you for saying that I think it is sometimes difficult to get people to go back and watch old shows, especially when they're long, when there's so much new stuff coming out. It's like to tell someone, you know what, pump the brakes on the 500 anime that come out a year and go watch this 75 episode, 90 episode, however long it is, Rurouni Kenshin. It might be a good way to introduce fans to an enduring classic. But I also agree with Mason. I don't think we really.
How'd that Shaman King remake go?
Oh man, it was awesome. It was.
Okay, buddy.
Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, well I'm gonna read off this list here because it is intense. I'm not gonna go through these. I'm just gonna read them. A bajillion anime coming out. Prepare yourself. Clear your ears out. Clear out those ear holes. Make a note. Dr. Stone season 3 is getting a new season in spring. Tokyo Mew Mew Season 2, spring. Lupin the Third versus the Cat's Eye anime coming out, 2023. Visual novel Autry, My Dear Moments, coming out. Baku Yume Makura's Own Myoji, the novel, is getting a TV anime in 2023. Agretsuko, 5th season, 2023.
Final season.
The Onimusha Warlords, the video game, is getting an anime next year. The Manhwa Lookism is getting a TV anime. Way of the House Husband Season 2, Winter 2023. Sony Music Project Unite Up gets TV anime 2023. Gen Urobuchi's Eisen Flugel light novel is getting an anime movie. The light novel Fate Strange Fake getting a TV special in December. That's coming up in just a couple months. The light novel Autry, My Dear Moments, getting a TV anime. And maybe the biggest is that Bunny Girl Senpai is getting another season. So
You already said Autry. You said it twice.
Oh, well, maybe I did. So there's just too many. So I blame anime. Why? Spread this news out a little. Like, we could have covered it all for real, but,
I know.
How do you
there were
talk
a couple
about
weeks where we were like, what do we talk about? And
Yeah.
here they are just dumping it.
Yeah, here's this big dump right on your face of anime coming out. So you got more anime to shake a stick at, and that's my spiel. Caroline, what do you got?
Well, some people might have heard recently that you might not have the same dub cast for Mob Psycho Season 3 as you have had for the past 2 seasons. The news is that Crunchyroll will be recasting the characters. The choice was made to record the simuldub for Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 at the company's Dallas production studio, but the majority of the dub actors in the previous 2 seasons are not based in Texas. They were based in the place they originally had the dubbing. And voice actor Kyle McCarley, who voices Shigeo Mob Kageyama, announced that he might not return as the anime's main character because Crunchyroll is not complying with his request that they meet with the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists Union representatives to negotiate a potential contract on future productions. So not only are they not they're not entertaining any change in their contracts, they're not even entertaining the idea of meeting with them, which, I mean, as somebody who doesn't really know the ins and outs of unions and contracts and production companies, the fact that they won't even entertain a conversation, I feel like that's the least that you can do for the people who have worked so hard on a show for the past 2 seasons. Now, the Cal McCarley said that the union was flexible and would have been willing to agree to any reasonable terms that Crunchyroll put forth, and that he and quote unquote a good portion of the cast met to discuss the terms that they would want. As I said, Crunchyroll declined his terms to meet. And as the anime dubbing industry is historically under-unionized, they don't want to budge on this because they stress the importance of having terms that protect their voices from overworking, which is very easy to do when you're playing anime characters that are constantly screaming, as well as having decent pay, benefits, and time off. So important stuff, but unfortunately, it looks like there will be some change coming to one of the biggest shows in the next season. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
It's like simultaneously, like I think it's got to be really sad for Kyle to like be the voice of a character for a wide breadth of the audience and just be like, nah, it's not like you were doing a bad job. It's not like someone will do a better job. It was just contracts, union, penny pinching, and it's just really at the end of the day another big L for Crunchyroll after weeks and weeks of just so many bad PR moves coming their way from their own fault, to be fair, but it's just depressing that they are now like one of the forefronts in anime distribution and streaming, and they're just not good. It doesn't feel good to support them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have like the asshole opinion because I'm like, I'm a little more like this.
Oh God, not the music.
Oh, my voice. I have to talk so much, and my voice, it hurts. And yeah, like, and stuff, you know? Because I have to scream and talk. And it's so hard. Life is so hard. And I don't know. I just don't I don't agree with like, I'm not a big fan of like unions. I don't know. We don't need to get into that really, but like, it's like, I didn't realize that voice acting, in fact, I happen to know voice acting is not a full-time job because they had a full-blown semi-party on stage with Vic Mignogna and Steve Bloom at Otakon one year because Steve Bloom had managed to be one of the only voice actors in existence that was solely supporting himself with voice acting. So
yeah, and that's why the industry sucks. Same way like subtitlers don't get enough money. Like it's because the industry can get away with underpaying them that it's not a full-time job, even though like should be. Like,
it'll sound awesome until your Crunchyroll's $4 more expensive.
Well, it already is, and they're putting ads on videos you're paying for and limiting people.
I mean,
and
shit, like a loaf of bread's $7, and now I got to pay more money for a Crunchyroll too. I don't know. It's whatever. I honestly, I don't really care. The dub cast for Mob Psycho with 100 season 3 doesn't move the needle for me. I don't even remember what they sound like. I might not have watched it dubbed, but like, I don't know. I need more money because like I have to talk a lot. Like, try computer programming for 10 hours a day and see how hard that is, and then we'll see which is harder, talking.
Well, when your voice is your career, Mitsugi, if you're making money because of your voice, and if your voice is being strained from the amount of work and how they're being forced to use it, as in a lot of screaming, as we all know anime is a lot of, then their source of income of voice acting is going to be negatively affected by that.
I think we can move on.
And they deserve to have some sort of support to make sure that they have, fair time off and fair pay and everything. Now, I'm not saying that, I know everything about the union provides, if it's a fair amount for what they are asking for or whatever. But even so, they can entertain a conversation to keep their dub cast.
I think it's agree to disagree because I don't really desire to get into a conversation that's innately political. So
I don't know if it's political.
It's extremely political. There are sides of like politics that do and don't like unions.
Let's go with agree to disagree.
We don't need to talk about it. So
join us on the Discord for more hot takes where we will flesh this out for multi-hour long rants. My big news, not too much, just more anime news from Aniplex Online Fest. Just another event where they're like, let's just stream for like 5 hours, have a bunch of announcements, trailers, music, and just give us way more news than we have any idea what to do with, honestly. So they announced that shows premiering in January. In early 2023, we have Tamo-chan is a Girl, The Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2, which was a show we reviewed. That wasn't the worst.
It was okay.
And hotly anticipated future waifu of the millennia, Nier Automata will be getting its anime adaptation, and it's coming out soon. So strap in, boys. We have another waifu wars on the horizon.
Oh my god. The resurgence of like the amount of just lewd imagery that's going to spill forth onto the internet because of what the hell are the robot
2B?
girls' names? 2B. Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, as if
We've
there
already
wasn't...
reached critical mass with it.
Yes.
And,
God.
we're about to reach critical ass. As well,
Got him. Got him.
as well as announcements in 2023 for the release of Solo Leveling, My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, Ayakashi Triangle, Mashal, Magic, and Muscles, and as Mitz mentioned earlier, more Bunny Girl Senpai. So, yeah, they're still making anime. Who knew? And it's coming out eventually. So, hyped. Out of all these shows,
Yes.
what are you the most hyped for? What are you the most like, that might be good?
I mean, are we including the ones that I read, like Dr. Stone and those?
Yes.
Well, I guess Dr. Stone, but I'm also very interested in the Onimusha anime. I mean, I'm guessing it's terrible, but the Onimusha games are pretty good. I mean, they're especially the first one. So, I mean, it'll probably suck, but I'm just gonna be a blind optimist until I play it and have my hopes crushed, or watch it and have my hopes crushed.
Yeah, for me it'd be Dr. Stone and Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
What are they gonna do with that? I wasn't that, I can't remember, 5 years ago, whatever. It's been, God, 5 years already. Holy shit. That's fucking scary. I
wasn't really a big fan of the movie. I know a lot of people liked it, but I'm just like, I like the show better.
I'm about in the same way.
Wasn't the Bunny Girl's story
I just didn't get it.
Wasn't her story the beginning arc? I thought it was over within like 8 episodes.
It was like a Monogatari thing where there was a couple arcs with different ladies, but she obviously was just the first one and made the biggest impact and is like the primary love interest. And It has a more catchy name than I spent time with 5 different girls solving their personal issues and woes, like a light novel title. So I'll take Bunny Girl Senpai.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Yeah, in other words, tons of anime coming. It will never end. And that's what you want, I think. So, just like we are going to be talking about now with the spring, or with the fall 2022 anime, which is just like it's just like a never-ending. It's like the mail. It just never quits. It just comes at you continuously. So we have picked our shows for the fall 2022 anime season. We each have 7 anime, so we basically make a list of our top 15, and then we roll dice, and then we kind of just like plinko our way down the selections until we each get our choices. And because Pancake hates everything and is very crude, and for people that love Pancake, I recorded short clips of her basically making fun of me for picking these shows.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's mostly like, why do you continue to do this to yourself and everybody else? Why is this the way it is? And I'll just get started because why not? My first anime way down the list. Wow, way down the list is these first few are never all that exciting. This might be like the trash pick for the season. It is Fufu Ijo Koi Bito Miman, or More Than a Married Couple, But Not Lovers, which is an extremely confusing title that I okay.
I'm just harem polygamy. Is that what I'm getting at?
One can only imagine at this stage. It's done by Studio Mother, who did the From Common Job class to the World's Strongest second season. Ultimately, a pretty new studio done by director Junichi Yamamoto, who's done really just a lot of ONAs, not a lot of like actually broadcast TV series. Third-year student Jiro Yakuin hoped to partner with Shiori Sakurazaka of the same class in the mandatory couple practical course. In this practical, students must demonstrate that they have the necessary skill set to live with a partner of the opposite sex while presenting a certain level of harmony in the video surveillance that grades them. I don't know what that's supposed to mean exactly, but it sounds like trash to me. This is your anime 90 Day Fiance or, whatever people watch.
It does.
So
I mean, what's so wrong with the baby course? Like, and that sometimes in high schools they have you do, like taking care of a plastic
still do
baby
that?
for a few days.
Is that still a thing?
I did not do that, but I
Me
do
neither.
remember a couple of friends doing. I'm not sure why my class never did that, but I remember seeing a couple of my other classmates having to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I guess they're a married couple, so they live together, but they're not really married, so that's why they're more than a married couple.
Why is this a high school class?
Probably because Japan has like a birth rate of like 0.4 per person, and their population's crumbling like a block of limestone under a jackhammer. I don't know. Japan, at this rate, Japan's got about 80 years, and there will be no one living in Japan, so they better fix that. And that's actually not a joke. And Pancake watched this trailer, and of course, I don't know. We'll see what she said. It's
another married couple thing. What is with this married couple bullshit? We get another stereotypical black-haired guy that can't fucking initiate anything. He's just gonna blush the whole show.
There you go. You expect more of that. I gave
How
this.
did I know he was going to be black hair?
I don't know. But she's
They all look the same.
Her hair's like neon pink with like the saturation turned way up. So it looks like she looks like a neon pink haired girl if she was dipped in like, the same radioactivity that Godzilla got exposed to.
Is this just another Tony Kaku?
I have no idea. I gave it a 15% chance of passing. I have done that. Anyway, next. I'm taking too long.
Next up, first for me, I got a really good roll. I got an 18 out of 20, so I got most of my best picks. That said, the first couple, I don't think we'll get past, but this one I will like, and I guarantee that because this one's just for me. This is the sequel, or it's really not even a sequel. It's more of a follow-up because there's no through line to one of my favorite shows of 2021. This is Puri Puri Molcar Driving School. The first season was unironically amazing. It's like a stop motion. It's like 3-minute long episodes of guinea pigs that turn into cars that run on carrots, and they aired them on YouTube and Netflix, and it's just an absolute delight for everyone. It's got references to like Indiana Jones and Akira, and like, this is not going to get passed. This is not going to get a review.
Oh,
but damn, the show is just so fun and cute and adorable, and I want one. And Puri Puri Molcar, please check it out. It's on Netflix. It takes like 20 minutes to watch the whole thing, and it's at least once, I guarantee you'll be like, ha, nice. And it'll warm your heart. And, if I pass this show, this is bad news for fall, because that means most other things are not worth it. So
yeah, and looking at the top of your list, I'm like, how are you going to pass up those that are already at the top of your list?
Exactly.
So
but what if Poi Poi Molcar is just that good?
I will talk about how good it is in a future episode, but like, I don't know how we can do a proper review where there's no dialogue of
well,
we just talk about our favorite episodes. We'll just reenact them. We'll just make the beeping sounds and eat carrots.
That could be a
30-minute ASMR carrot review.
That would be an interesting bit. We just speak in beeps and boops.
I'm down. It's a lot easier than this nonsense. But yep, Puri Puri Molcar Driving School. What do you got, Caroline?
How does it feel to be so spoiled that you got 7 out of your top 9 picks?
I'm living the good life, but just like you guys, I only get 2 passes. So, we all probably have 2 good shows on our list.
I understand.
Well,
Caroline.
I had a shit roll. I got a 7, and so I went last. So, and also, I kind of put my list together last minute while I was multitasking while we were having the ping pong anime club discussion.
Oh, good.
So it was a good discussion. So I was a little bit preoccupied, and I did not put as much research and time into my list as I typically do. So that might be a little bit apparent with my picks for this season. So at the bottom of my list, we have Nomen kanren no skiru baka agetetara nazeka tsuyoku natta. I somehow became stronger by raising farming-related skills. It sounds interesting. No. Just
What are you, stupid?
okay, our main character,
Farming
Al
Simulator.
Wayne.
The anime.
Al Wayne is the name of this character. It's such a silly name. Anywho, Al Wayne, a young man who aims to be a top-notch farmer, has refined his farming skills and finally reached the max level. However, once he achieved the pinnacle of farming skills, for some reason his life began to take a drastic direction. I have no idea what they mean by that. What drastic direction? No idea.
Hot girls in overalls.
I'm hoping that it's going to be, I don't know, like you got a farm and he has to go into dungeons and try to apply his farming skills, which, if that's true, should be at least a little bit interesting to me. It's from Studio ACAT. It's a light novel. Couldn't have guessed. I didn't really see anything all that reputable coming out of ACAT. I didn't write anything down, so. But yeah, it's on the bottom of my list for a reason. But I'm hoping that it will be entertaining for at least a few episodes.
Maybe it's just like a really serious show about farming, and they're like, let's go to a tractor pool, and they're like,
is
tractor
this the
pulling
next
stuff.
Silver Spoon? I don't know. Silver
I don't know.
Spoon in a fantasy world?
I'm still lusting over Butadon. I would eat him. It's very tasty.
So
Okay.
sad.
Here's the next anime I've got that is I don't know how this happened.
Why do you pass these, or why do you pick these shows?
It's because I
guess you didn't pass
pick them. I
We
picked
have
them
this discussion every season.
in the
We have
order.
this-
I picked them in
every
the
single
order
season.
that everyone else picked their shit. Everyone was like, "Oh, I want to watch this. I want to watch this. Oh, leprechaun, not to get me Lucky Charms." Yeah. Anyway, Uzaki-chan wa Asobitai Double from director Kazuya Miura, who did such classics as Dramatical Murder and Uzaki-chan Season 1, and brought to you by Studio Engi, the studio that brought you Uzaki-chan Season 1, believe it or not. At the start of her freshman year in college, Uzaki reunites with Sakurai, an upperclassman who was in the same club as her during the high school days. However, much to her surprise, the once active senior has ended up becoming a lonesome student, preferring to spend all of his free time in quiet and peace. And then Uzaki just torments him by being really annoying, is I think the plot. So,
Sounds like a Mitsuki anime.
Oh, it sounds like an anime that has about 10% chance of passing because it's going to be a hyper as shit rom-com, and it has a 7 on Mal, so I made a note of that because it was the second season, so it's already known to be not that good, I think, by the general planet. And Pancake, though, does she hate it as much as the rest of us?
Another black-haired, stereotypical-looking MC. Dude, do you just, like, say, where are the most basic-looking MCs? I want the default when you open the Sims. That's what you have in all 3 of your anime so far.
Oh. Well, I guess
She
that's a
just
teaser.
reads my mind.
And look, I'm not the one making anime.
I love
You know,
Pancake.
yeah, see, if I was making
You're
anime...
the one picking it.
Well, no. No, the listeners picked it. Anyway,
You have the final decision.
anyway, I
It's
give
on
it
you.
I give it about 10%. Mason, you're up.
Next up, I have another short show. It's only 4 episodes long, and this is Housing Complex C, aka C Danchi. It's not a sequel to like C, the Money You Control or anything like that. But this is streaming on Adult Swim /Toonami // HBO Max. It's done by a newish studio, Akatsuki, who did like Tribe 9 and the Dori Midori, neither of which were very good. It's done by a first-time director, so I do not have much confidence coming into this. That said, I picked it only because it is coming up on spooky season. We're at the end of September, and this is a horror show, allegedly. We'll see how anime does with it, because they normally do not do so well. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the show is kind of just a test, so that Uzumaki is more refined, because both this and Uzumaki are 4 episodes long, produced by Adult Swim, and are hopefully horror. So this is kind of just like gauging how well that's going to go. But it will probably not get passed because it's such a short show. But it's horror, and it'll be easy to watch, and hopefully it's bloody. Like, just give us some gore, and that'll be a step in the right direction. So once again, housing complex, the low estimation of it being good, but we out here, we grinding.
Since we're on that topic, I will say I have gotten back into Miruko-chan from last year, and it is pretty good. I mean, at the very least, the ghost designs, frightening.
Wow.
Sometimes they're like, okay, so it's fine, but like a lot of time they really hit the mark with, trying to get the creep factor in there as much as they can. So, as much as I hate the amount of groping and boobs and just weirdness, if without that, it's been pretty good so far. Just saying.
I would say that's still probably one of the better horror film anime in recent years. So
I mean, I've been kind of hoping that I'll be able to talk about it on like what we have been watching, but I don't know if that's coming up anytime soon. So I will say that it has been very enjoyable because not only is it creepy, but heartwarming too.
Wow.
Because then there's moments of like the main character meeting spirits that are good-natured and have like, and she helps them in a way that just allows you to feel like a little bit of warmth. And it's like, because there's this one scene where there's a mother who had just had a miscarriage and now she's pregnant again, and she notices this spirit that doesn't look evil, but she's like, what is the spirit? And it's the spirit of her miscarried baby, and she can be protecting her. I'm like, oh my god, it's so sweet sometimes, but you have to get past the boobs. So
yes,
yeah,
indeed, sometimes
okay,
push them out of the way.
So let's get to my next pick now that I have derailed the conversation. It's Kokyu no Karasu, or Raven of the Inner Palace. So here's the synopsis. Deep within the Inner Palace lives a special consort who does not serve the Emperor despite her position, known as the Raven Consort. People who have seen her say that she looks like an old woman, while others say that she looks like a young girl. Of using mysterious arts and how she can take on any request, be it death curses to finding lost things. Koshin, the current emperor, goes to visit the Raven escort with that intention, without knowing that their fated meeting will become a taboo that will overturn history.
Wow.
Now, I thought that overall sounded very interesting. I watched, I think, a teaser trailer, and I don't know, it kind of doesn't look as good as what the synopsis promises, but again, I was multitasking, so I wasn't paying too much attention. But still, I'm kind of hoping that this will be a good one that hasn't been on anybody's radar yet. It is based off a novel and is being done by Bandai Namco Pictures, who did basically all of Gintama, Birdie Wing, and Tiger and Bunny, amongst others. So I'm just hoping that despite how little I know about it, that'll end up being good.
All right. Sounds good. Next up on my list is Shinobi no Itoki, which does have an English title. The English title is, there is none on here. Okay. We'll just call it like ninja stuff, because like, why not? So it is an anime done by Studio Troika, who did All Noah Zero and Recreators, two of the more highly watched shows. It's an original anime directed by Shu Watanabe of Taisho Meibisu line. Let's see here. After surviving an attack from the rival Koga clan, Itoki Sakuraba, there's where the title comes from. It's basically, Itoki the ninja? I don't know. An ordinary boy discovers that he is the 19th heir of the Iga Ninja. Itoki learns to become an Iga clan ninja and joins the war between Iga and Koga clans. Yeah, I watched the trailer, and it basically looks like a ninja school, but with very unathletic looking people.
I know, that's what I thought when I saw this. I'm like, this looks like a regular high school. How are these guys ninjas at all?
It's like ninjas are like climbing up buildings with their bare hands and like backflipping, and it's just like these people look like they couldn't climb a tree with a rope. Anyway,
Caroline has watched a lot of Naruto. She's very keen on who and who doesn't look like ninjas between this show and Bastard.
Are they wearing sandals? If not, they're not ninjas. All ninjas wear sandals.
Yeah, of course. Especially like the ones that have like the two little toe slots. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I watched the trailer
And
a
then
couple
you have
times.
freaking Ino and Naruto who's wearing like a tube top and a skirt. I'm like, girl, what are you wearing? That's not ninja attire.
This show looks like 50% school anime where you learn to be a ninja, and then 50% the ninjas are attacking and we have to defend each other. But it's pretty clear from the trailer that the main character, Itoki, is going to be like a bumbling fool, basically, because they clearly show him sucking at being a ninja in the trailer many times. So I don't know. I mean, maybe this isn't a super overdone concept, but I doubt it'll be good. I give it about a 25% chance of passing. The percentages are gonna.
That's pretty high.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, it's definitely better. Definitely looks better than some of these other ones I've got. So,
well, let's Pancake have to say about that.
So this is a ninja dating anime. Pick your ninja girl.
that's what she said.
Uh,
And a lot of other stuff too that is just not suitable for any audience, really.
really?
No, I don't know.
This podcast?
She's talked for like 9 minutes while I played
Okay,
these trailers,
Dark
and I
Schneider.
only took like a minute of of what she said. So yeah, this one is, I don't know. It doesn't look that good, but who knows? Maybe it'll be great. Next up, Mason.
Next up is the show Cool Doji Danchi. Instead of cute girls doing cute things, this is dorky guys doing cool things.
Like what?
So this is another short, and I tend to like shorts because of the limited runtime. It looks very simple. The visuals do not look great. It's done by Studio Pierrot, who did Platinum End and Akudama Drive most recently. Not sure where it's streaming. It's based on a manga that has all right reviews. And, it's probably a limited budget, but the staff members seem to be used to working with that. So let's hope that while Pierrot is working on The Little Lies We All Tell and the year-long return of Bleach, they can kind of make something special and surprising here. I don't have high expectations, but it's a short. It'll be quick. It'll be easy to take a look at, and we'll see. Hopefully, it's charming. I don't know. That's all I got. Cool Doji Danchi.
Can you name a cool thing? Name us a cool thing that they do, Mason.
I haven't seen the show yet. Hopefully, they just act like Sakamoto. But the point is that they're actually not cool. They're just dorks.
The only
but they're
thing that they
pretending
could do
to
is
be cool.
probably like comb back their pompadour with a comb. That's it.
Maybe that'd be pretty cool.
That's all they have to do.
Well, that would be very cool.
Well, my next pick is Akuyaku Reijo Nanode Last Boss wo Kate Mimashita. Okay, I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. And as we all know, I am a sucker for my next life as a villainess, so I figured if anybody was going to be taking this one, it'd be me.
Any anime with villainous in the title, Caroline will take it.
I mean, it's not as if my standards are just down below the core of Earth. I'm just saying that it's my fifth choice. Okay, it's not that hot up on my.
This is your shit. Okay. Yeah.
I have somewhat a little bit, tiny bit of hope. Okay, here's the synopsis. Being acutely ill, a young girl has spent most of her life in a hospital room playing Otome games to fill her time. She one day finds herself in the midst of a scene from one of those games as the story's villainess, Irene Lauren, I don't know how to say that, D'Artrice, what? I have no idea. Okay, at the banquet to celebrate the end of the Academy's winter term, the Crown Prince and Irene's childhood friend, Cedric, publicly annuls his engagement with Irene and announces that he's in love with Lila Rainworth.
Oh my God, scandal.
Frick Leah, whatever that her name is, the game's female protagonist. Aware of the tragic future ahead of her and determined to change it, the young girl resolves to conquer the game's final boss, the Demon King, and Cedric's half-brother, Claude, by making him fall in love with her instead. With time running out, can Irene succeed with her plans, or will she remain bound to the ill-fated ending that awaits her? Literally up until like the last portion of her trying to tame the final boss and make him fall in love with her. It just sounds completely like my next life as a villainess. So I am hoping that this Irene girl can even approach the sky-high wonderfulness of Katarina, or Baccarina, as we lovingly call her. But I don't know, because it's done by Maho Film, who did Leah Dale. So we all know how much we think about that one. And it's based on a light novel, in case you could not have guessed. Yeah, definitely sounds a lot like My Next Life as a Villainess, but let's see how they compare.
All right. Any anime with villainous in the title? I'm gonna give it.
My standards are not that low, Mitsuki.
Mine are.
My defense, my two top choices that I really wanted, both of you two took.
You're gonna learn.
So I had to go down my list a little.
You're gonna learn eventually to lower your standards and stoop to the lowest level that I am at.
I was gonna say.
Every single season, you enjoy yourself, don't you?
As I pick Kontai Collection, Itsuka Ano Umide as my next anime. As I say. God.
Can't keep getting away
God.
with it.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah, this was. Oh yeah. Just so you know, people, this is way too high on the reserved I must watch list on my anime list. It almost just makes me give up for humanity entirely, because this is like in the top 5 non-sequels, and I'm just like, oh people. So yeah, so I watched the trailer. Of course, this is the second season of Kontai Collection, done by Studio Engi again. Same studio as the one that's doing the Ninja Show, and has the same director as the one doing the Ninja Show.
That's a good sign.
If that would tell you anything, that they're both gonna just cancel each other out and just disappear from the public view. They're gonna both be horrendous. Based on a game, of course, with the seas under constant threat from the hostile Abyssal Fleet. A specialized naval base is established to counter them. Rather than using standard naval weaponry, however, we've opted to send out little moe girls with jet skis on their boots so they can, like, shoot guns at... Yes, because that makes sense. It's basically strike witches, except boats, except they're, like, I don't know. Girls, they call them. They are... the base is armed with Kanmusu, girls who harbor the spirits of Japanese warships, possessing the ability to don weaponized gear that allows them to harness the powerful souls within themselves. Fubuki.
Do you want me to translate what that means in proper English?
Yeah.
What that means is that these characters are based on real-world ships, and the larger the ship is in real life, the larger their boobs are. That's what it means.
Is this Uma Musume?
No. Uma Musume is not bad. This series is completely different.
Oh my God.
Anyway, as you were.
Shit on your face.
As you were, my captain.
Oh my God, okay. Fubuki, a young destroyer-type Kanmusu, joins the base as a new recruit. Unfortunately for her, despite her inexperience and timid nature, she is assigned to the famous 3rd Torpedo Squadron, yay! And quickly thrust into the heat of battle. When she is rescued from near annihilation, the rookie warship resolves to become as strong as the one who saved her. 6.8 on Mal.
I want one of these characters to be a tugboat.
I'd like to watch them all
You want the lolly
sink.
character, is what you're saying.
I'd like to watch them sink into like the Mariner Trench and never come back.
Wow.
So I don't know. It's like they don't even look like ships. They look like little girls that are water skiing, except there's no like rope. So they're just like zipping around in like water, shooting at shit. Anyway, I give this about a 15% chance of passing. I mean, it's a long shot. I mean, honestly, we did cover the first season of Kontai Collection. So incredibly, I have seen the first season, and here's what Pancake said.
What is going on? Robot girls skating on water. This is dumb. Is this just girls hanging out that are robots?
There you go. Robots.
I love the fact that most likely there's a strong chance that she had to watch that like trailer in stunning new high definition with her brand new projector.
Nope.
So there was no skirt unadorned by her eyes.
It's on this incredibly enduring 8-year-old podcast laptop that is somehow still running. So, next up, Mason.
My number 5 pick is Uchi no Shisho wa Shippoganai, aka My Master Has No Tail. What could
OMG.
that
Scandal.
mean? I know. Tailless for shame. This is done by Linden Films. It will be streaming on High Dive, so Mitsuki is already out, and
Yep.
it's based on a manga. So Linden Films always decides to take on way too many shows than they can do properly, and they have once again 3 this season. And they all wildly have different animation quality, but it's no better than where they used to be. Back in the day, Linden Films could not do anything right, so at least we're getting somewhere. That said, this show, I mainly just picked it because it is Tanuki Rakugo. It tells the story of Mameda, who is a Tanuki who decides to pursue the art of Rakugo to play tricks on people, which is fitting for the mischievous Tanuki spirit. To learn Rakugo from a master, though, Mameda has to convince the human master of Rakugo, who has no tail, hence the title, to accept them as their pupil. So I've enjoyed all the anime extremes, I guess, of Rakugo. Rakugo Shinju is a masterpiece. Joshiraku is a little light on the Rakugo, but still an incredibly hilarious show. And let's see if anime can go 3 for 3. I think this will veer too much and lean on a cutesy aesthetic. So for a middle pick, I'm like okay with it. I don't have high expectations, but maybe, probably not, but maybe.
Just maybe.
I like Tanuki. I've seen a Tanuki in Japan. I've connected with them.
Liar.
I like Tanuki. I like Rakugo. I'm in for it. My master has no tail.
All right.
Yeah, I was considering this one too. But yeah, let's see what's if it's good or not. But my next pick is Spy X Family Part 2. So not season 2, but Part 2, because we had
Are you
to
gonna fail this
separate
one?
the parts, and even though they're part of one season technically. You see, here's the thing. Okay, so Spy
Come
X
on, you know
Family
you're gonna
has
fail it.
created such a whirlwind of discourse on our Discord.
Yep.
Because when I did not pass part 1, because I only have 2 passes, and I wanted to pass things that I really wanted to because I knew they weren't going to pass anyway. And I knew that no matter what, Spy X Family Part 1 was going to pass. So I decided to fail it and let the listeners pass it instead.
Editor's
Which, yes,
note,
was
editor's
underhanded. Yes, what?
May I make an editor's note real quick?
Sure.
You actually said that Spy X Family caused so much like upheaval on the Discord. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
What you really mean to say is Spy X Family is an inanimate, unthinking anime, and you caused the upheaval on the Discord by failing Spy X Family. When you,
I only did. I
You know
did
damn
not break
right.
any rules. I just played the game. Okay.
Yeah, and what did they? Then did they pick Spy X Family?
Yes, they did. They
Oh, I
did
guess you won then,
indeed,
didn't you?
as I expected they would. And I realized it was underhanded, and as the Discorders will say, 5D chess, and they have never forgiven me for this.
All according to
Here's the
Keikaku.
Okay, so what?
Now that we are back with this decision to eventually pass or not Spy Family Part 2, if I don't pass it, they are gonna be super pissed at me again.
and yet
they're just, I have no way out of this.
and yet they will dance in your hand yet again like the puppets they are. They will dance.
Yeah.
That's right.
So either I pass it and appease them, and who knows, maybe my other shows are not going to be as good and I'll pass it anyway. But either I pass it and appease them, or I don't pass it and they're going to be really mean to me again. So
How could you guys be mean
yeah.
to Caroline? If I see anybody
I
being mean to
know.
Caroline,
I can give you names.
I'm gonna
Mr.
stick
Gibb.
pancake on you.
Ban them from our Discord. No, of course not. So from the looks of it, like, I don't have a synopsis for part 2 because they didn't, that. It's just gonna be part 2, the part 1. I really enjoyed part 1. I'm not expecting part 2 to be anything different, and I'm hoping not. And I'm looking forward to the second part.
okay. Well, very well. Very well done. All right, the next one on my list, we're getting into palatable territory here, maybe. Unsure. So the next one is the long-awaited isekai show. You know I had to pick one. I mean, honestly. Tenshi Shitara Ken Deshita, which is reincarnated as a sword. So fucking stupid. Oh my god.
I had this on my list, Mitsuki, and you took it from me, so don't diss it.
We can't have everything. So the director is Shinji Ishihara, who's done a lot of stuff. He directed Log Horizon. He did Fairy Tail, a bunch of other things. So the list is very long. Studio C2C. So we all know, I think, them. Of course, based on a light novel, because every fucking isekai ever is based on a light novel. The hero of Reincarnated as a Sword differs from your standard otherworldly protagonist in that he is, get this, reincarnated as a sword. That's... big brain.
Whoa. I was with you on the slimes, but now we're swords?
That's just...
It's gone too far.
Honestly, that's just the level of, like, big brain intelligence we're working with on my anime list. I had to literally tell you that. Beginning his quest by spawning in the middle of a beast-ridden forest, he encounters an injured girl frantically fleeing for her life. We should note that she is absolutely a cat girl. Saving her from her assailants, the pair acquaint themselves and the girl introduces herself as Fran. She bears a heavy past, having endured the enslavement and maltreatment of her tribe, the Black Cats. As the hero is unable to remember the name of his past life, the young and tenacious Fran bestows upon him the name Shishol and becomes his wielder. Okay, so I watched the trailer. It had a lot of action in it. I don't know. I figure everybody will watch it because it's an isekai, and who the hell... It's... You ever play Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and you can summon the sword guy who talks, and he kind of floats around, and will attack for you because he's a good old sword. He's a sword coon.
Yeah, good sword boy.
Yeah, that's what this is, basically, with a cute cat girl wielding him. So I'm going to give this one a higher percent chance of passing. I'm going to say 35%. And let's see what... Pancake was very vocal.
Reincarnated as a sword. Sword coon? You gotta stop watching isekai, dude. I need you to be, like, sent to AA for specific, like, isekai issues.
She's so...
See, that's what I thought, too. At the beginning when I heard, okay, a show about a sword reincarnated, it sounds absolutely stupid. And as if we are out of ideas. But... reading the synopsis and seeing like the trailers, it just looks like a really sweet show about a sweet girl who has been through a lot and has now the power of a sword supporting her, and she's going to bust through the walls and the chains that bind her. And I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, well, and she'll probably be massively looted because she's a cat girl.
Oh, stop! We're not hoping for that.
How bad do you hate your life? Come on now. You'd rather be a sword? Pull it together.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god. Oh boy. All right. So yeah. Okay. And the PV the PV didn't show much. I mean, it's just, I don't know, a sword guy talking and flying around on his own and cutting shit up. All right. Mason, you're up.
Yes, my number 4 pick, and we are in the top 3 now, folks. So maybe we are getting into something of reasonable quality, and I actually am excited for this one. We have Bocchi the Rock. This is done by Cloverworks, streaming on Crunchyroll based on a manga, and it is Cloverworks. I like Cloverworks. I like their designs. I like how their shows look, and they just tend to have some good, snappy, sharp-looking production. So this is a story all about how this girl named Bocchi, her name isn't Bocchi, and I'm not going to sing the rest of the song. It's actually Hitori Goto, but people call her Bocchi. She likes playing guitar, and she wants to be in a band, but she's really shy. And if you're thinking, wow, that sounds a whole lot like Heian, you're right. And not just because it's high school girls in the band, but like all of the character archetypes in the short PV seem very similar. And I hope that it doesn't get too overshadowed by its older sibling, because obviously each show should stand alone, but if you're making a show that's copying so much of the playbook of a legendary classic like Heian, which I do enjoy, it's just not going to fall favorably. So, first-time director doesn't mean there's much to draw on. So, Cloverworks is really the big appeal, as well as the fact that I like band music shows. I hope this is good. Bocchi the Rock, it's fun to say. It's really fun to say. It's not at all related to the other Bocchi show, so There we go. Another pink-haired girl wrecking it on guitar. So excited.
I thought maybe it was about a pet rock.
No, that would be too good.
Oh,
We're not
man.
ready for that one yet. Well, you'll
All I
talk about
think
that
of
in a
was
couple.
ranking of things.
Man.
Ranking or
Just would be-
Fumetsu?
Do you ever just want to eat Chipotle?
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Uh,
Where did
thanks
that come from?
Thanks for making me hungry and
From the
want
pit of my
Chipotle.
stomach, I am so hungry. Oh, boy. All right, Caroline, you're up.
My number 3 pick is called Do It Yourself. It follows high school girls working on DIY projects as they struggle, fail, yet don't give up and see the projects through to their end. The story depicts the lives of those girls as they take their first step toward the future. So it is a cute girls doing cute girls thing. Cute girls doing cute. Okay. Oh no, that's not what I meant to say. Cute girls doing cute things anime. And I do enjoy those kind of shows, like, Yuru Camp and recently Slow Loop. That was fun. This is original, and it's from Pine Jam, who did Gamers, Just Because, Kageki Shoujo, and Gleipnir. Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
I know, what a combo.
Oh, my God.
It's fun. I'm hoping for some, something along the lines of Yuru Camp and Slow Loop. Just nice calmness and fun and cute. So, yeah. Nothing too crazy, but yeah.
Why are these synopses always so epic? It's like, the two meet, the villainous and blah 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 meet, and change the course of history. And this one's like, girls are in a wood shop, and they make little like Matchbox cars that can race, and they will change, and they're gonna dive towards the future. Like it's just wood.
Mitsuki is just reeling from the fact that Caroline and I hit him back to back with 2 cute girls doing cute things shows. And he's just like,
oh God.
Just vomiting off screen.
All right. Next up for me is I would like to say that this Gundam show I'm about to talk about will get us off of the schneid, but I don't think it will. So the next anime, I always pick the Gundam shows, unless it's Gundam Build Fighters. Gundam Mobile. It's just too stupid.
Suck it,
Build Fighters. Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch of Mercury, which is quite a cool title, directed by Hiroshi Kobayashi, who directed Kiznaiver and yes, Spriggan from like 40 years ago. Not really 40, but it's pretty old. Okay, of course, it's Studio Sunrise. Yoshinyuki Tomino, still the original creator. Set in AS-122, Ad Stella, an era when the multitude of corporations have entered space and have built a huge economic system. A lone girl from the remote planet Mercury. Why is that remote? It's not that remote. It's like, I mean, we all know where it is. Anyway, transfers to the School of Technology that has a name that I won't bother saying, because if they wanted me to say it, they'd make it, they'd make it pronounceable. Run by the Benarit Group, which dominates the mobile suit industry. Her name is Suletta Mercury. She's named after her planet, apparently. With a scarlet light burning in her pure heart. See, that is the shit I'm talking about. Well, we will change the course of history with our woodblock race cars. And with a scarlet light burning in her heart, burning in her pure heart, this girl walks step by step through a new world. And it's just so ridiculous. Anyway, so not really what I was expecting from Gundam. So it's a bit off the beaten path to have a Gundam anime that looks like it's basically a school full of like cute girls, which should concern, I would think, hardcore Gundam fans. But I would say the trailer looks very uninspired. I have really lowered my expectations for this Gundam show. I don't know. I guess I just want my Gundam shows to be like gritty and about war and about fighting and about like, serious shit. And this one's like a school for being a mecha pilot. Yay. I think that's pretty much what I got from the trailer. And I don't know. We'll see what Pancake thinks.
Oh, Gundam. Oh, I like how it looks. The backgrounds look nice. This might be good. We'll see what happens. Wow, she looks anime as fuck. She's definitely the main character. Look at them eyebrows.
Yeah, there's like this maroon-haired girl that is definitely the main character. You can tell just from looking at her, and she's like, "I'm so Genki. Look at me." I'm like, "Ooh, yay! It's Stovey of the universe, but it's Gundam. Yeah."
Is she the witch or is the bad person the witch?
I don't know. At this point, who cares? I don't know. Oh my god! I just want Gundam like War in the Pocket. I want like Gundam. I'll take Gundam Wing. You know, I'll take. Yeah. Anyway, so they should know how to pilot their fucking Gundams already. They shouldn't need it. Whatever. Okay. Next, Mason. Oh, I give that one 30. I give that one a 30% chance.
Nice. Next up, we're in my top 2 picks, and I luckily got both of them. So let's see if it works out. Last year, my number 2 pick was Blue Period, and it was all right. You know, I enjoyed it enough. This year, I'm going with a similar strategy and picking Blue Lock. Not at all art related. This is going to be streaming on Crunchyroll. It's owned by Studio 8-Bit, who did That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and it is based on a wildly popular manga that I've read a bit of, but I love the concept of it. It is a fusion of battle royale and sports, which soccer in this case. It's such a fun concept. It's essentially Japan's national soccer team is just not doing that great, and this weird crazy man's like, if I just get 300 of the best players in Japan in like this training center, which is called the Blue Lock, that's where the name comes from, and they just like compete against one another, I will like forge the strongest striker that soccer has ever seen that will like return Japanese soccer to like the pinnacle of the sport. So essentially it's crazy off the wall soccer challenges to like refine the selection to find the best soccer player. It's a lot like conceptually I'm hoping for One Outs, a weird like baseball show, which is a very perverse twist on the show. You don't watch that show for baseball. You watch it for the mind games and like gambling, and same way this. You're not watching it for the soccer as in a proper, you know, game, but just the crazy antics it gets up to. So I'm hoping it's off the wall. It's crazy. Kind of medium on the Studio 8-Bit, has some winners and losers, so not too much, but I have enjoyed the little bit of the manga I have read. I've heard a lot of good things about it as it goes on. So Blue Lock, my number 2 pick. We'll see.
I think I remember reading the synopsis. Was there a part where if they enter this game, then whoever loses is not ever going to be able to try out for the team again or something like that?
Yeah, it's a mix of like, because they bring all the people in and they're like still in high school and their teams are like competing. Like they're still like going to nationals and stuff. And the guy's like, nope, you have to disregard all of that. And if you fail, you're never going to get a shot again. This is your only chance to ever be like on the national team. And
so, but why would they block off the chances of 300 of the best players in the
because
in the
I think like
from ever having another chance to join the team?
The selection process is so intense that it will break anyone who doesn't make it.
What?
Like
it's all Squid Game.
So every sports anime is like the power of friendship. We have to work as a team. Like if you're struggling,
you're gonna break their legs at the end of it.
People have your back.
I'll break your face.
This show is all about like you need to be as selfish as possible. You only win if you look after number one and disregard everyone else. Your teammates are your enemies are your enemies. Like you are the only thing that matters. It's like complete antithesis to every sports anime out there. So I'm hoping it leans into it and is a bunch of fun.
Well, the main character's eyeballs look like they're just about to pop out of his head with the color blue they chose for it.
It's anime.
So, yeah.
And this is also the 73rd anime with the word blue in the title.
Hey,
just kidding. It's probably not. I'm just kidding.
I like blue anime. They're good.
I'm blue.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So number 2 on my list. I've heard a bit, well, not a lot, but I've heard whispers of this anime a few seasons ago, and I'm thinking to myself, that actually sounds kind of good. But I'm still kind of unsure about it. It's called Kage no Jitsu Ryokusha ni Naritakude, or The Eminence in Shadow.
I wondered who would take this one.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I did not hear wrong about this manga or light novel. Actually, it's a light novel, and that it is actually going to be good because it's my number 2 choice. So yeah, here's the synopsis. Great heroes and diabolical villains are the types of characters that people long to be, but not Sid Kageno. He longs to become the true mastermind behind it all, pulling the strings and having his machination? How do you say machinations? I think. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Drive the entire story. In his previous life, in modern day Japan, it's an isekai. He was not able to achieve his goals, but now, reborn into a new world of magic, he will show the true eminence of shadow. As Sid pretends to be just an average mob character, he recruits members into his fake organization, Shadow Garden. Note that all the members are female characters, so you can kind of guess where that's going. Aiming to take down the mysterious cult who lurks in the shadows. With plenty of ad-libs, it leads his fake organizations against the foul, yet surprisingly real, Diabolos cult. So I'm not sure why it's a fake organizations and not like a real organization. I don't know. There's a lot that I don't quite understand based on the synopsis. But because I heard people talking about it and because I didn't really see much else that I really wanted on my list, it's at my number 2. And yeah, it's been done by Studio Nexus.
Let's run through the promo art of this. So, very, very front foreground. Blue-haired, elf-eared girl with giant breasts. Right across from her. Long blonde-haired elf girl with giant breasts. And then count them. 1, 2 cat girls with medium-sized breasts. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other girls in the shot, all surrounding a very edgelord-looking black hooded guy with holding a blue magical flame in his hand. But because the world will revolve around him, that's what you're in for. I think the picture gave it away.
I am hoping not, but I will not be surprised if that's the case. Again, I was doing my list. Well, I was preoccupied with something else, so if I had not been doing that, maybe it would not have been so high up on the list. But
you can't escape it, Caroline.
Oh well.
You can't escape it. Throw a dart, throw 5 darts, you're gonna get a harem. So that's just how life is. All right, number 1 pick. Here it comes. This is where I guess all the yummy stuff comes out. So we've got the first anime on my top choice, To Your Eternity Season 2, directed by Kyoko Sayama of Vampire Knight. Studio Drive is the studio, and I will note the first season was done by Brainsbase. So you have a change of studio, which is not normally what you would want, but then again, I don't recall To Your Eternity exactly. Well, I guess there were some action scenes in it.
There's a bit.
It's the second season of To Your Eternity. I give it a 40% chance of passing. It's about as good as I'm going to be able to give you. So it's more about the depressing adventures of Fushi continue. I mean, the trailer is so depressing. He's just like eating like raw fish and shit. And he's like, I don't need anybody. I'm going to live on this island forever, all by myself. And this guy comes by and he's like, are you sure about that? Because the knockers, which is... Why?
So stupid.
They're out killing everybody. And they're just like killing all these villages.
He's been on this island for like 30 years or something, how old he looks.
Yeah, it's... Anyway. So, but Pancake...
I don't need to watch the rest of this trailer. I'm in. To Your Eternity was my shit. I cried. I was stressed out. I loved it.
There you go. So, To Your Eternity Season 1 had a very good score on Mao, as I recall. It was an 8.4. Wow, that came down hard. That thing was like a 9 in the first half, and then when they got to that last arc, everybody was like, you know what? Not as good as I thought, but all right, that's my last pick, To Your Eternity. Next up, Mason.
Really no fanfare with this one. Just probably one of the most anticipated anime in recent history. Number 1 pick, gotta go with Chainsaw Man. or as it's referred to in the Discord by a few folks, Chainsaw Man, which I get to laugh at every single time. But right up there with Superb Owl. Done by Studio Mappa. We've never heard of them before. Streaming on Crunchyroll, and it's based on a manga that I've read a quite fair amount of. Yeah, it's very similar in concept and tone to the more seinen shonen we're getting nowadays with Dorohedoro, Jujutsu Kaisen, and it tells the story of Denji and his dog Pochita as they live through destitute times, working to pay off their debts as devil hunters. It's a very violent show, but it has a lot of context and a strong cast of characters that make it more than just, your run-of-the-mill shonen action. That said, the level of hype that this show is receiving is frankly a little concerning. I'm expecting legions of fans and critics alike being some of the most annoying people, the most insufferable folks on the internet. So remember, if you are enjoying or rejecting this show, it's all well and good, but be decent about it. I feel like so often it's the fans of things that ruin shows or movies or music for people. So I want the show to succeed. I want it to be good. It seems like Mappa is really putting a lot of effort, a lot of talented people behind it. I mean, all the people are doing EDs and voice actors. I'm excited, but I'm also very cautious. We should not let our hype and expectations run out of control and ruin things. So I think this will be a fantastic show, but moderation, everybody. Take
Pump
it
the
easy.
brakes.
Let's
Take a
see what it
breather.
is. Let's see how it is.
Yeah,
Let's hope
it does sound like it's being overhyped.
Let's hope that it's good. I really want it to be it. So Chainsaw Man, number one pick. Let's see what happens.
I've been hearing about this anime for 2+ years. People have been jizzing their pants over Chainsaw Man forever. So I don't even know what to compare it to, but if it's anything less than Cowboy Bebop level of good, I'm just going to say it missed the mark at this point because it's already the best anime of all time. I bet it has a 10 out of 10 on Mal. I'm going to go check. All right.
Yeah, well, if there's a lot of bets being put on our Discord right now, so if you have strong opinions about this show or any others, get in there and join the fun. It's actually pretty enjoyable to watch.
I mean, it is the 41st highest ranked manga of all time, but
yeah, it's a good piece of work.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well,
round us out.
My number one on my list is Urusei Yatsura.
Oh.
So this is a remake of a 1980s anime, and before that, a manga. I have actually never really known anything about Urusei Yatsura until I saw this one on the coming out list. Have you seen this, Mitsuki? Have you seen the original?
It's very long. So no, I haven't. I can't say I've seen it. I know enough of it. And
well,
yeah. Do you know what you're getting into?
I have a feel based on the synopsis, it doesn't really seem like my kind of show.
It's not. It's not. I'll tell you that right now.
I was kind of yeah. I mean, it's 200. First of all, the anime before is 200 episodes. So yeah, I mean, and it's yeah.
It looks amazing. The art style. It's like paying homage to the original character designs, the colors. I'm a sucker for style. So I'm hoping it's good. I really am. But let's get to the synopsis here. Much is notable about the lecherous, starting off strong, Taru Moroboshi, but his extraordinary bad luck sticks out like the horns on an alien's head. When Earth is threatened by a fleet of alien invaders known as the Oni, Ataru is selected to represent humanity in a duel against one of them. It's a stroke of rare luck for Ataru that the duel is in fact a game of tag, and that his opponent is Lum, daughter of the Oni's leader, who places her personal dignity above victory, as Ataru finds out by seizing Lum's bikini top, and with it, victor.
Oh, Lum.
So that starts it off.
She is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Icon.
She's a very pretty.
She's a sex icon.
Very pretty character design.
Yep, sex icon.
Okay.
Yep.
However, misfortune kicks in when Lum mistakes Ataru's promise to marry his girlfriend, Shinobu Miyake, as the desire to wed Lum herself, and decides she rather likes the idea. Wielding her influence as an alien princess, she moves in him, Forced to deal with the consequences of his womanizing ways, Ataru must balance his crumbling relationship with Shinobu while keeping Lum happy, all the while flirting with every woman he meets. Why did I place it at the top of my list? I don't know. I'm just a sucker for what looks good. So let's hope that I can get through some of the more inappropriateness.
Well, you know, this
it's
anime...
by David Production, by the way. David
And
Production.
I mean, they have a very easy roadmap to follow. I mean, the original was directed by Mamoru Oshii, which is, I mean, there you go. And it's Rumiko Takahashi, which is, at this point, I think I'm comfortable saying, other than Tezuka, maybe nobody is as just prolific and has as many consistent hits as Rumiko Takahashi. I mean, she also can't make an anime she can't make anything that ends up being less than like 300 episodes long. Every single thing she's got is long as fuck. Oh yeah, it's
so Urusei Yatsura, Maisune Koku, Ranma 1/2, Inuyasha, probably like 1,000 more that I'm forgetting, but just
I mean,
tour de force.
Yeah, the average
just
length
not my
is,
thing.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically like god tier as far as, you know, manga goes. There's really nobody currently active that I would say is touching Rumiko Takahashi. But I wish you the best of luck, Caroline. I mean, if you hadn't picked it, I would have had it probably. So there you go.
Yeah. Well,
someone would have picked it.
Two of my top picks were not given to me.
Oh.
But yeah, let's just hope I don't regret my picks on my list, because it kind of, honestly, I'm kind of scared. It says how many episodes it is. It's 46 episodes.
Oh no.
For now it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they add like 5 more, seasons.
Shit.
All right, wow. So real quick, guys, I know we're running long. Anybody have a prediction on what the best anime out of these will be?
Best as in the ones we like the most, or like the fan favorite?
Well, I mean, I would say what is going to have the highest review online?
Probably Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw or Spy Family?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Spy Family.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Spy Family probably. So, all right. Well, should we go to the news break?
I think we should.
Sure.
I will read this for Caroline.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
I'm just
welling over my poor choice, considering it's a 46 anime. Sorry.
No worries.
What is Dark Schneider's most powerful spell? We'll give you the answer after our news break. Bye.
Pope Dark Schneider's most powerful spell. Hey, anime fans, Mitsugi's here. I'm bringing you your anime news break, starting us off with some big news for those of you that have been wanting to go to Japan. Japan will reopen its borders to independent travelers and lift the daily arrival cap. This includes the requirement to have a travel agency or a tour guide be your quote-unquote guide when coming to Japan. They will be lifting all these restrictions on October 11th. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said Thursday this is a major policy shift after nearly 2.5 years of COVID-19 lockdowns for Japan. This comes on the heels of a Japanese yen currency that has depreciated to nearly historical levels in the last 50 years against the dollar, making travel to Japan extremely cheap for those people that are living in the United States. The Prime Minister said, quote, "I hope many people will still visit Japan. I want to support the travel, entertainment, and other industries that have been struggling during the coronavirus pandemic. If you want to go to Japan, pack your bags, people. It's time to go. So get that currency now and lock yourself in for a cheap-ass trip to Japan. Maybe podcast Japan trip coming up sometime." Next up in the news, the Hunter x Hunter manga, in what has just simply become a comedy at this point, it resumes its serialization. Togashi's Hunter x Hunter is going to return from hiatus for probably one volume with a scheduled release for the 37th volume on November 4th. The adventure fantasy started coming out in 1998. It has undergone many hiatuses, the last one in 2018. There are 84 million volumes of the manga are in print, so we'll have to see how long the Hunter x Hunter return holds up. Next up, Bunny Girl Senpai, an extremely popular anime franchise, is going to be getting a series sequel. The Aniplex Online event for 2022 announced that the Hajime Komashida's Seishun Buta Yaro series, or Rascal Does Not Dream, light novel, is going to be getting a new anime project that's going to cover the 8th and 9th volumes of the property. If you are a big fan of Bunny Girl Senpai, it's coming back at Cloverworks with the original director, and also it looks like the script and composition and character designers are all going to be the same, as well as the lead cast from previous installments of the anime. The television anime originally aired for 13 episodes in the fall of 2018. Get hype, Bunny Girl coming back, epic waifu. Next up in the news, the manga Yamada-kun to level 999 o Koyo Suru, or You're Loving Yamada at level 999. The manga is going to be getting an anime adaptation in 2023. So this is going to be done at Studio Madhouse from director Morio Asaka of Chihayafuru. So the synopsis of this is that after her boyfriend cheats on her with another girl he met in-game, Akane Kinoshita learns the hard way that gamer boyfriends can be just as bad as offline variety. As she vents her anger by beating mob monsters to a pulp, she has a chance to encounter Akido, a guildmate with an afro and no mask. And, I don't know, probably romance ensues. That's what it looks like. So if you're a fan of this property, this manga, look out for Loving Yamada at level 999 coming out in 2023. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. Now, time to get back to the podcast. Well, Anime Addicts, us at the podcast, we know that it's not always easy in these tough economic times to support the podcast by subscribing to our extra content. But hey, we're going to try to make this easier for you than ever by signing up for Amazon affiliates. This will make sure that whenever you buy something on Amazon, if you go to the Discord or our homepage or social media and click our link, it'll take you directly to Amazon. Rather than actually supporting the podcast by subscribing to our extra content, we'll get a small percentage of the cost of whatever you buy on Amazon. That's kind of like helping out the podcast and sticking it to the man, because it's less money going to Amazon, more money going to the Anime Addicts. You can be a superhero too and help out the podcast. And all you got to do is click that link before you shop on Amazon. Boom, boom, bada boom. Money goes into the podcast coffers, and you're sticking it to the man. Yeah, you know you like to stick it to the man. So more information on this as it comes, but look out for links on the Discord and our homepage plus social media to help out the podcast with all of your shopping needs online. Welcome back to the pod. Mason's dancing. The Dark Schneider does not dance. What is Dark Schneider's most powerful spell? Halloween! He shoots it out of his peen.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't, but he does.
Angus.
Halloween. Hello, ween. All right. But hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're gonna do our review of Bastard, but first we're gonna do a mailbag real quick because we don't want to, we don't want to leave out the fans.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag, bag. All right.
Whoa, surround sound. Okay, if you want to send in a mailbag, all you have to do is go to aapodcast.com and click on the mailbag button. Whether it be conversation starters or absolute burning questions, send them all over, like Inochi did. Greetings from the Great White North, Addicts. As you have no doubt noticed, we seem to live in an era of remix. I can't talk anymore.
It's okay.
We seem to live in an era of remix from classic films to video games. It seems like every second IP being released
Intellectual
is a
property.
IP.
yes, but it doesn't sound right. It seems like every second there is probably
Yes,
an
you are
IP being
correct.
released is a remake. Whatever, you know what I mean. Which got me curious. If you could pick any anime series or film to have remade today, which would it be and why? Now, I don't really know enough classics that could use a remake myself. So to answer your question, I'll just say The Promised Neverland so that we can get a decent adaptation for the second season. That's it.
For as cool as the universe is, I think it's a crime that Gunsmith Cats and Riding Bean only have 4 fucking episodes. Like, are you kidding? There's absolutely no excuse for that, other than that there's just not enough content. I don't care. Like, you don't have to adapt it after a manga. Like, make it original. It's not groundbreaking shit. It's just that Riding Bean and Raleigh Vincent are maybe not. I don't know. They're close to S tier shit. Like, they are good fucking characters. I'd like to see more. And I mean, damn, why not? We get everything else. Everything gets a second season in anime. Even Realist Hero got a second season.
This is a remake, not a sequel.
Well, whatever. Symphogear got fucking like 9 seasons, and that shit was trash mostly from the beginning. Why can't Gunsmith Cats get more than 3 episodes? You hurt my heart. My heart, it hurts. All right, Mason.
This is a fitting question. We talked about Rurouni Kenshin earlier. Chat is talking about Slayer's remake. We're about to review a remake of Bastard. So, yeah, good timing on the question. This is a tough one, though, because you want something that's good enough that you want it to come back, but also not so good that it doesn't need a remake, So I'm going to pick an OVA, actually literally the first ever OVA, called Dalos. It's from 1983, and it was done by Mamoru Oshii, and it just had some really cool ideas of moon colonization and the sci-fi and horrors of it, but it just was also kind of cheaply made and never lived up to its potential. That could come back, and I definitely think it deserves it, and it's a little bit of history, so that's my pick.
All right. Thanks for submitting your mailbag. Again, if you want to do so, aaapodcast.com/mailbag. Send them in, people. All right, here we go. This is the moment that us, maybe, the Discord, all the degenerate gamblers, and all of the handsome ladies out across the world that love Dark Schneider have been waiting for this review. It is the review of Bastard, Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy, a spring 2022 joint brought to you by Mitsugi. The artist formerly known as Mitsugi, now known as Pope Dark Schneider, picked this one. So it is on Netflix. If you want to watch it, it's pretty easy. You can just pretty much everybody seems to have Netflix, so just go watch it. The kingdom of Metallicana is under attack from the 4 Lords of Havoc. This party of villains, Ninja Master Gara, Deadly Thunder Empress Nay Arshis, cold and calculating Khal Su, and enigmatic Dark Priest Abigail will stop at nothing to get what they want, even if it takes...
Oh, yes.
Even if
Dark
it leaves...
Priest Abby.
Well, Abigail, whatever. Annoying
Sorry,
man.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
He was extremely annoying. Even if it leaves utter destruction in their wake, High Priest Geo is desperate to help save the kingdom and its people. He unleashes the mighty wizard, Dark Schneider, a man who used to be an ally of the villains. Unfortunately, Dark Schneider has his own plans in mind. Will he stop the 4 Lords of Havoc or join them in their conquest of Zawarudo? From Linden Films, who brought to you 1 million anime a season, including Tokyo Revengers and Love and Lies. From director Ozaki Takaharu of Goblin Slayer and Persona 5 the animation. And based on a manga and OVA from 1992. So, a lot of information there. I'll start with Caroline. What were your expectations?
I didn't really know much about Bastard except for what you talked about during Impressions, which did not really give me a lot of hope for enjoying this. I will say that I was extremely surprised to know that we would be reviewing it this week because as you mentioned, it's like a and 24 episodes or thereabouts. And I could have sworn we had literally just did impressions on it. I'm like, how is it already time for this?
Yeah.
But then I realized it's because it's on Netflix and because they just dropped it in 2 parts. So it came out very quickly. But regardless, everything I knew is just what you told me.
Mason, how about you? What did you expect coming in?
I had seen a bit of the original 1992 OVA, and it really wasn't my thing, but it was alright. I could see what it was going for, and I was expecting a remake to be full of imagery of like half-naked warriors and maidens that you would see on like the side of a van from like the 80s. You know, just that old school Dungeons and Dragons heavy metal fantasy, just like it calls for. So I think I knew what I was getting into.
And as for me, I knew exactly what it was going to get into because I am Dark Schneider, and the whole world belongs to me, and all knowledge of anime, I possess it. And so, now, Caroline, would you recommend this anime? Come on.
It is very hard to say.
To your grandma?
It's 2 letters. It's not that
Little
hard to
Nana? Would you recommend Bastard to Nana?
Here's the thing. I'm not saying that this anime is completely devoid of anything of value, because there's good music, there's character designs, it has some funny moments. But I would be hard pressed to recommend this to the average anime fan. If you are looking for something a little bit more shocking than usual in today's kind of anime, in terms of like violence and ecchi, this is it. This is for you. But if it's to the average person, I can't in good faith recommend it.
I can just see it now. Caroline, she sits down with Nana. He's like, Nana, this is Bastard. And she's like, oh, Bastard? Yes, Bastard. And she takes one look at Dark Schneider, and it's all, oh, this reminds me of my youth, Peter Pincher.
Oh, God. Stop talking about Lorraine like that.
He just out. She's like, you're gonna get your grandma doxxed. Mason, would you recommend Bastard?
Short answer, no. Medium answer, yes, if you are edgy, horny, or enjoy objectifying women. Long answer, this show is just a poorly written mansplaining of a banal magic system to these slime-stripped, naked, objectified women that are like Dakimakura by design, with awful lighting effects, inconsistent choreography, cringy 5th grade level band references that make everything feel like a weird, like hormone-driven fanfic, like abysmal world building, dialogue, character motives that are just coupled with incessant flashbacks, exposition, recycled jokes, recycled designs, recycled story beats. It is well and truly awful. And it is earning of one of the worst anime of the year in a selection already packed with pooper scooper material. I
had
do
no
not
idea you'd
recommend
hate
Bastard.
this more than I do.
It is.
Oh my word.
And
yeah, but
without
I already
going
ate
What a
on-
brand.
Shitburger.
And not for going on for too long, but like it is ineffective and lazy as a critic to like compare shows to other shows. Like a show should be good or bad pretty much on its own merits, you know? That said, because this is a remake of something that already exists to some degree, the 2022 version is far inferior to the 1992 counterpart. So I would say if you do listen to this review and you're like, I think I want to check out Bastard, give that one a try. And if you're like, Mason, it's not available legally, you can find it on YouTube, my guy. And if you're even more brave, you can handle that. So if you want to watch Bastard at all, which I don't recommend, watch the ONA from like 3 decades ago. You'll be better off. That's
Wow.
all I got.
That was incredible.
Well, guys,
I
that's our
need
show for today.
Applaud.
It's not good.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that it is.
All right. I would
What are
say
your thoughts,
that
Mitsuki?
I would say that it is fairly true to the original, but they're not the same anime, really. I mean, we'll get into that, but it is violent. It is over the top. It is ecchi. It will appeal. It will appeal to all, but to some, but not all. I actually recommended this anime already to somebody. So I guess the answer is yes.
Who?
I have a coworker who likes old anime, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is your cup of tea or not, because I wasn't sure. And he mostly just likes zombies, and I was like, Bastard, you should watch this. And then when I told him what it was about, he was like, no, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't know. This anime is it's difficult to recommend unless you really know who the person you're recommending it to, because you can't send poor Nana off to look at Dark Schneider's 99% naked body except for his penis area, pretty much.
Yeah, he does have Titan syndrome right there.
Or Yoko Tia Noto in her fucking like sexy little tunic that she like prances around in the whole anime. It's just, I don't know. It's tough to recommend it because it's got all that stuff in it, and et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could recommend it to like, a close bro or your brother or something. But that's probably about it. Anyway, guys, let's get into spoilers. I think that there's really not a lot to spoil though, honestly.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
Now, I will say, can you name any character that has better eyebrows than Doc Schneider?
No, I don't really like his eyebrows.
Oh,
Moogie from K-On!
They're scruffy. Nah.
His eyebrows are like if Moogie from K-On! if hers shot lightning bolts out of them.
Yeah, I was going to say lightning bolt is exactly the word to describe it.
Anyway, listen, I know everything that's going to get said in this review already, pretty much. I think we all said it all everywhere else. But I would like to posit the argument that if this anime wasn't, if it was, and let me finish, if it was lifted to today's social standards or was modified from its tone and original content, then there would be absolutely no reason to remake Bastard for its 30th anniversary, because this anime is unapologetically over-the-top, misogynistic, violent, and just degrades women on every level. However, there would be no point in this anime existing without those things. So really, there's no other form that it could exist in. So saying that it shouldn't be misogynistic, etc., it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Really, the response would just be, you should know better, don't watch Bastard.
But why would I want to watch that?
You probably
Mitzi?
wouldn't. Like,
why would I want to see people being disrespected so many
You wouldn't. You
times?
never would. You never would, but like you are a prisoner in the typical free choice world of what do I want to watch on Netflix, because you are chained down and forced to watch this for the podcast. Otherwise, there's no way you would have gotten past like episode 2. And by the way, this anime, I did pass it, but wow. Can we all admit episode 1 through 3 is about 20% as over the fucking top as this thing did, escalating as if a rocket taking off before exploding in the Earth's orbit. I don't know if you guys finished this anime.
Is that a penis joke or?
It could be.
Oh, I finished. I finished, my guy.
Oh yeah, Dark Schneider would have finished, but he got his dick blown off during the.
I will say that I did not get a chance to finish the anime.
It's insane,
and not because I didn't want to. I got through like half of part 2. I just couldn't finish it. So
my point was that like I did pass it, but like it was. I think that around episode 6, this thing took off. It was like they were like, you know what, we've warmed you up enough. Now we're just gonna like have a borderline full-on sex scene in episode 6, and then it just goes insane from there. But I respect everybody's opinion.
Say it was not sex, Mitsugi. It was confirmed that the girl that he had relations with got so turned on by biting,
his Dark Schneider
and
air biting,
and so she thought she basically acted as if they were having sex, but they totally did not. They did not have any.
That's
sex.
fine.
So meanwhile, while you this show has so much sex in it, there has not been a single sex scene technically.
No, it has a lot of ecchi in it. I mean, it's all over the place. But like, that's fine that he didn't have sex with her, but he they visually essentially showed you the sex scene is all I was saying. Like it's for all intents and purposes, it was there. But anyway, guys, this anime, first of all, the opening is fucking incredible. It's gonna be on the list of best openings at the end of the year.
I've seen better.
It's fine. It's Baby's first metal song. You know, it's metal for people that don't actually listen to metal. Let's not kid ourselves.
Well, it's Cold Rain. I don't think they're really classified as metal. I mean, they did the Mayday song from Fire Force, which was also fucking awesome. For me, the best thing about this anime, and I know, like, you know, they're like, there's a best thing? Yes. Well, what I would say is that I still vastly prefer the art style from the time that this anime was made in to anything that is made today. I don't find anime even close as far as visualizations and style of the characters now compared to 30 years ago. In this anime, the characters look the same that they did before. I actually watched one of the episodes from the OVA this morning because I wanted the comparison, and they look the same. So as far as the visuals go, I won't say the animation is always awesome, but the visuals, the style of it, hits the mark very well for someone who actually likes OVAs and shit from like the 1990 era, you know, early 1990s.
The original looks so much better, though.
I mean, I'm just talking about the way the characters are drawn, the hair, the shape of the figures, the faces.
They have the poofy designs. They have the crazy character designs that you want.
The high-waisted leotards.
Yes. The butt crack wedgie inducing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of it. Go ahead, Mason.
No, I'm gonna let you just get all. No,
I got this long list, so you better get it while you can.
I guess I'll just animation-wise, a lot of faults. The mouth flaps weren't anything close. There was a lot of times where characters' mouths were just left open as the character talked.
The dragon is the main culprit of that.
Main culprit there. They forgot to make the characters blink. There's almost no blinking in the show. That's not great. From a more like technical standpoint, there's no continuity in a lot of scenes. There will be scenes where two characters are facing each other, talking, and then it will show a character turning to face the same character and continue talking to them. Like, that's not how people work. There's a space-time continuum that we have to respect. Impacts are not drawn. A lot of times a creature will raise its sword and go in for a big slash, but they don't actually show the point of impact, which absolutely baffles me. It takes so much weight out of the scenes. I think the best part of the show is actually the monster designs. I think the visuals on all the creatures is actually pretty good. That's the one thing I'll say, hey, they did that pretty solid, but I just like the look of the original more.
What about Dark Schneider's perfectly chiseled buttocks?
It is quite chiseled, but let me tell you this, Mitsugi.
Okay.
Everyone is gawking and salivating at the ladies. And obviously they're all very similarly proportioned. They're dressed all the same way. You know that official porn of this exists, right? The actual mangaka stopped this thing to go make porn. Like,
well, guys, that's our show for today.
The show exists. Like, and they actually do the nasty right there on the screen. So if that experience is what you came here for, go do that. Don't watch the show.
The hentai.
Yeah. Don't hide the fact that you're watching the show for the fact that you're anything besides perverted. So go do that. It's a much better experience. Trust me, I did the research. It's better than the show.
Okay.
I watched everything. I did not want to complete the show, but halfway through I realized how upset I was at it just not being what I wanted, that I consumed almost everything they had to offer to prove and convince myself that there's nothing of value anywhere in this universe, and I'm validated. There is nothing here. I see what you're saying, Mitz. It is a pure representation of what happened 30 years ago from the manga, and they held true to the themes and styles and all the problematic elements. And yes, they should be applauded for that to some degree. That said, there was nothing ever of value to begin with, and I think that's what makes it frustrating for me.
You're right. You're right about the chicks in this. If this anime was not on Netflix and had a higher level of popularity, I think that there would be a lot of, and in today's art style, I think there'd be a lot of looting shit online about the Yoko Tsunoda is a top tier waifu. There's no doubt about it, and she's really the only one that gives Dark Schneider his fair share of shit during the anime.
Oh, she's so annoying. They should call her Yoko No Tittos because they don't draw nips in this show.
So
What?
let's start
Now
with
you want the
episode
nips?
1.
I'm saying if you're gonna fucking commit to it, commit. Don't live on this like borderline.
As much as I've come to like Yoko, she was
so annoying.
Freaking annoying. Starting with episode 1. So we get okay. So I'm coming into this thinking that this is gonna be some dark shit. This is gonna be some gross. There's gonna be some rape or something like that I hate. But no, it's like it's super silly. It's like they're all goofballs, and yet they still do all this dark shit. Like or not dark, but kind of gross. And we start this off with the castle being under siege. People are dying by the dozens. The soldiers, they are being surrounded.
The
princess is like, what? Oh my God, what are we ever going to do? We're not going to survive this. They are literally at the door trying to get into this palace. And Yoko's like, oh, and now I'm starting to remember. My father told me a spell that should only be used when we are at, in these dire circumstances. But, oh my God, it means I have to kiss this boy that I've known for years. Oh no, how embarrassing. Meanwhile, people by the dozens are being slashed down, dying as she's fretting over the thought of having to kiss this boy. Not even a stranger, someone that she knows very well.
I feel like you're complaining about the same thing that I bitch about every time I have to watch a rom-com. Like, just do it. Why are we so scared of it?
Okay, it's just so ridiculous.
Well, listen,
Yoko has blood on her hands because she's fretting about this. Okay, so in a rom-com, it's more like, oh, I'm a little bit embarrassed, so I don't really want to. So that's one thing. She has blood on her hands because she couldn't follow through with this one thing that her father told her to do.
Caroline, I'm having a tough time with this because you're making a comment about something that in the grand scheme of this anime, which is batshit fucking nuts, I can't believe this is the thing you're talking about. Like, at the end of the
because it was the first thing that I thought about when I was watching this show. I'm like, what am I watching when this girl's being so ridiculous? So, and I'm not saying that's the biggest part of the show. I'm just saying it's the first thing that I noticed about this show.
I mean, okay.
Is that it could... What? You didn't think
this
that
anime,
was ridiculous?
This anime exceeds even something like Redline and just utter absurdity. I mean, it's
no,
bro. At the end of this anime, he's, and you know this, but this for the audience. At the end of this anime, Dark Schneider's been fighting now for like 9 episodes, and he's got his entire lower half of his body is gone. He's just a torso. He's missing one of his arms and half of his pec and half of his chest, to the extent that his ribs are sticking out of him. He looks like a McDonald's McRib sandwich that's like half eaten, and he's he's still fighting as he's like basically just a stump with like an arm and the hat in his rib. And then he sits up and he says, "Oh, like this is so horrible. This is paraphrasing. The day that Yoko Tianoto said I could take her virginity. But my penis is gone. You blew it off. My manhood is gone. My beautiful rock hard shaft that curled all the way up to my belly button." And you're complaining because Yoko didn't kiss the boy quick enough?
But the thing is that based on what this show is, based on the amount of mentions of sex, of virgins,
countless.
Of, so many.
Yes.
And that's like a major point of this show, is that they don't give a fuck.
I agree.
But Yoko gives so much of a fuck about this stupid thing. It's like in a show where it's like this. That should not be a puppet.
And then she calls everyone else selfish.
Yes.
Listen, I agree.
Don't you care about my innocence or whatever? I'm like, girl, just kiss him. And another thing is that Lucian, I thought he was like 9 years old. He's 14. He sounds like a baby.
He does.
He acts and sounds like a complete child who has no idea what's going on around him.
I get that the intent is to have the absurdly evil Dark Schneider in contrast with Lucian's like pure innocence, but Lucian is just so irritating and annoying because the few moments he's on stage, he's like, "What's going?"
Well, he's also barely in it because
Thank
Like,
goodness.
he's a year younger than Yoko, and yet he acts as if he just got potty trained.
well, that may be true. He's not in the show very much though, because Dark Schneider takes that over in a hurry. So I don't know. I actually like Dark Schneider. Like, you guys, I'm sure don't agree.
I don't.
Sometimes he's
hate
funny.
him.
He's entertaining. It's
He's just there are characters from anime that are the same as him. He's not unique. He might have been first. He could be the first. I don't know. But even anime like the stupid, one of the shows where the demon lord gets reborn in fucking a school or some shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's too many of those.
Yeah, so the OP character that is just no one can touch him. But in those anime, they're not worth watching. Like, they're just boring. It's like, I have no personality. I just happen to be the strongest ever, and all these girls will fall for me. But really, there's no reason that you would watch me other than like a piece of bread baking in the oven. It's just not any different. But Dark Schneider, he is the same character, but for some reason, he just is more entertaining. Like, he says ridiculous shit to the opponents. He always is going to win. He says it, and he talks utter trash the entire time. Like, I mean, to the extent that what did he say? He said he was going to rip off the one guy's cock and feed it to the little dragon.
Lars.
Like,
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Lars.
Just absolutely, the anime doesn't give a fuck about itself for 5 minutes. It's just basically a big fucking joke, and as Pancake would tell you, written by a 15-year-old. But, like, Dark Schneider is a memorable character to me because he's so fucking over the top and just talks utter shit and then backs it up and is just, I don't know. And then at the end of it all, he's crying about his penis. I mean, it's fucking crazy.
Overall, I didn't really mind him. And as you mentioned, like, he could be pretty funny. But if we're going to say, like, oh, like, we gotta love the misogyny in the show, it's so different. The thing is that not only is it insulting, it gets freaking boring. Because every single fucking time there is a female adversary, they get touched once, like on the shoulder or on the boob, because that happens pretty often. Like, any kind of like single touch from Dark Schneider, they suddenly fall in love and forget all of their motivations to kill him. Literally every single one. There are multiple female people in this show that are there to kill him. And then he does one tiny little microscopic thing. And they're like, holy crap, I want to bang him. And fuck
but this
plans. Fuck the plans to take over the world. I want to bang this man.
Well, look.
And not only is it irritating, it is so boring. Because I know the moment I see a person with boobs on this show be somewhat of an adversary, I know what's going to happen. I know they are going to suddenly get overcome with their libido and stop being any sort of a threat.
Well, of course, I respect your right to have an opinion, of course. But I have to correct you. Like, I don't think that misogyny, I don't know if you're referring to me or not, but no one thinks that misogyny or whatever in the show is a good thing.
It's not that.
It's just that this anime is.
I don't claim that you think it's a good thing, but it certainly does sound like that is the main reason that you guys like to watch, is because, like, wow, different misogyny.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. There's two things. First of all, anime is just not the right medium to watch if you want like pristine, socially acceptable anime stuff, because anime isn't. Like, it has always,
I mean, there's stuff
and will
in it
always
that isn't.
it has always and will always be not socially progressive. It's just an industry run by a bunch of old fucking Japanese men. So, like, I'm not that shocked. Like, even now, it's like, I get that it's from 30 years ago, but like, even now, I'm watching anime where like 40-year-old men who like lay in their bedroom are looting over like 14-year-old girls in jobless reincarnation while girls play with themselves out in the hallway. Like, it's just, that's what anime is. But aside from that, how is Dark Schneider different than any of these characters? Like, even a realist hero, he's got fucking 5 wives. There's no reason to like the guy. Or like Sword Art Online, he's got his own harem. Every anime is like this. So other than the fact that this is retaining its ballsiness from 30 years ago, how is Dark Schneider different than any of these other shows where girls just fall over men at the first hat?
So
No, because it's so
the same thing.
noticeable. It's like you could see it. You can see it like almost like you flipped over a coin, and it's so quick and noticeable. And like, yeah, I can see where what you're talking about, but it's it just feels like way like okay, and I'll even say this. I actually kind of like a lot of the characters in this show. Like Gara is pretty cool.
I like him.
Yoko's cool.
Yes.
You know, the female, and I will give you this, is much better than Realist Hero. They actually have characters with personalities in this show. But
True.
It's like if you put in these powerful characters, like you have Arshis Nay in there, and she's like effing everything up, and it's like she's no different from all the others because it's like she's not a threat. We know this because she's a girl, and Dark Schneider is her enemy.
Well, she did almost kill
And
him.
father. And
father.
Yeah, we didn't get to that.
And lover.
Anyway,
I need to talk about that too. I need to talk about that too.
Go ahead. I've said my piece mostly, so, please.
Okay. You cannot make lover and daughter interchangeable. It should not be interchangeable. You can't say she was raised as his daughter and his lover. And they say it so many times in this show. So many times. It's like, yes, I heard it the first time. I certainly didn't forget it. So why did this need to happen? I don't care if he is a bastard. They do not need to make this a thing where Arshis Nay can be looted over as his lover, but also as a daughter. And that's just really, I don't want to see that fetish play out in this show.
So I had a whole spiel planned about the misogyny in this show, and I don't think it needs to be said. So I just want to say it's there, it exists, but we all get it. But I think to echo Caroline's point, besides the problem of it being there, it is just boring from a standpoint because you know how every interaction will go. Which is already a problem with the show because so much of the show is repeated elements over and over. Lars gets kicked 5 times an episode. Is that comedy? Darth Schneider gets killed every single episode. LOL, it's just an illusion spell. JK, I'm back. There's no stakes to the fights. There's no clever solution. Everything is just so dull. It's the same predictable story beat and outline. And I get that the show is old and full of cliches and maybe helped create some of those cliches back in the day. But it is, as the title suggests, just a shallow power fantasy. And I don't even care that things are illogical, like Yoko carrying a coin from hundreds of years ago, or Dark Schneider dumping ramen on someone's head, that exists in this world. That, I get it.
And Santa Claus, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I am okay, sure. They're talking about shonen manga. They're talking about, if he dies, it's the end of the anime you're watching. Haha, fourth wall break. That's fine. That doesn't bug me. But just everything is so... just look at episode 16. Starts off, and they're in the dungeon. They're like, good thing we defeated the guy with the mace. But it would be really bad if the guy with the ring showed up, because that would be really bad. Next thing you know, villain shows up, he has the ring. And they talk about exactly what's going on, and they kill him, and then he starts regenerating, which we've seen 1,000 times, and 5 people have to say, look he's regenerating. He's coming back to life with his regeneration spell from the spell that makes him regenerate.
Oh
and
my god.
Okay,
yeah.
They gotta defeat this creature that can regenerate. How are they gonna do it? What clever trick? They just wait, and he defeats himself because he can't handle the regeneration. But this enemy is not as strong as the next one, and then the whole cycle just repeats. And the whole last 7 episodes of this anime are the same thing of just it's one long fight scene, one solitary awful fight that's trite and just some terrible dialogue and moments where a big impact will happen and dust flies in the air and everyone's like, good thing we killed him, yay, we've won. And of course the dust clears, nothing has changed. And then the bad guy hits our guy, and smoke shoots up in the air, and everyone's like, oh no, he talked a big game, but now he's dead. Smoke clears, nothing has changed. Ad nauseum. Over. The misogyny. Over. It was so dull.
Over.
Yeah. And so...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
To play off of what you said earlier about the amount of background character narration, it just went to a whole new level in the second part. It was constant. The ninja soldiers, they talked about what was happening more than they fought. They were the characters just telling you every single little thing that's happening.
Oh,
and
I
as
love
you
the
mentioned,
ninjas.
They're
so stupid.
I bursted
the whole
out
point.
laughing.
But
Okay,
they're supposed
so,
to be just dumb bullshit.
No, but the narration just got irritating. It's like, why don't you? I want to enjoy watching the fight for what it is. I don't want to have these stupid characters tell me verbatim what is happening. Like like a specific example of what Mason said. It was the fight between Dark Schneider and Arshis Ney. They used the flight spell for the third time in that fight. Like in the session, this is the third time used the spell of flight, and of course they lift up into the air because they're flying now. And then right after that, a stupid ninja soldier says, oh, "That's the spell of flight," and I'm like, "Yes, it is." What else could it be?
I just feel like you're missing the point.
Maybe it is supposed to
it's
for
dumb
a reason.
as fuck. It's dumb as fuck, and it knows it. It's intentional.
It's bad on
see
purpose.
what you're coming.
It's intentional.
I can see it being intentional, but it's not funny because
it may not be. I mean, your mileage will vary.
It's too dumb to be funny, and it's not dumb enough to be funny, or something like that. It's just not enough. And it just got to the point where it was annoying because I'm hearing characters say what's going on rather than watching what's going on, which would be a lot more interesting.
Mason, do you have anything else that you'd like to say?
So much, but I don't need to. I think people very quickly know if this show is for them or not for them. If you're in it, you're like, okay, I can deal with the vibe. It's goofy, it's dumb, the characters are larger than life. Demons look cool. It's bloody. It's sexy. Like, this is what I signed up for. What's the problem? And if not, you're like, well, that's wrong. That's wrong. Why did that happen? Well, I don't like the look. That makes me feel really not good inside. Like, it very clearly and quickly divides the audience. And I think people know what they think about Bastard and don't need us to tell them anymore.
I think
we're good.
Also, it's going to get a second season. So it might. Netflix, doesn't
said to be continued. So
I mean, it did. I mean, Netflix doesn't really play games with shows that don't do well, and I don't know how well it did. But I just want to also make a note that Yoko Tsunoda's face at the end of the anime when she's sitting on the ground and she's like covered in blood, that was an intense image. I was like, wow, like you are not looking good. I actually found it right here. It probably won't look very good through my phone, through a crappy webcam, but she is... she looks like some shit out of a horror movie in that shot. I was just like very shocked by like how she looks. Her hair is all like blown out, and she got blood all over her. But yeah, you're going to get a second season. Are you excited, Caroline? Oh, it doesn't come through very well. Anyway. I'm going to give this anime, you know what? No, I'm going to let you guys go first.
Mason, how about you go first? Set the bar.
So during our anime club discussion on the Discord, we turned it into a bit of a Bastard rant, and I said my score was going to depend on what Mitsugi's was.
All right, I'll go first.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay, go.
I can go first, though, if you want.
No, I'll do it. This anime is what it is. You will know if you like it or not immediately. It's definitely... plenty objectionable for a lot of reasons, and someone who watched it 30 years ago and thought, wow, this is just what I want, may not feel the same way today because times change, but Bastard did not. So just go into it knowing that, and a lot of the stuff Mason said is correct. It is, monotonous and silly and stupid and probably boring for some people. However, I enjoyed the utter insanity and over the top not giving a fuckery that this anime was. It was just like, hi, like look at my silly ninjas that are going to comment about how all these skeletons are walking. Like we can see them. It's just like cracked me the fuck up. Gara was great. The Metallicana princess chick was ridiculously hot as an anime character. Like, wow. Tia Noto, I don't even think she's as hot as the princess girl. some of the action was okay. The opening and ending is fine. I'm gonna give this anime 3.5 times that they casted Halloween like in a row out of 5.
Another one.
Now you can go, Mason, since you wanted me to go first.
Yeah. The original Bastard is all right. This version, compared back to back, is just so much worse. They actively made it an inferior experience, and they just took a whole lot more time to do a whole lot less. And I genuinely see why people could enjoy this show, but found it to be so boring that I got nothing out of it. I originally was going to give this a 1, and I said I was going to give it a 1, but I can't. I'm going to give it 0.5 series that should have stayed relegated to the past. This was a complete waste of time over the hours that it took to get through. And I get why people like it, and if you do, good for you. I'm hoping you enjoyed it. I'm hoping they come out with season 2 for you, but we're not reviewing this again. That's just not going to happen.
You're planting the seed right now.
I'm saying that the way that it's listed on Mel is 2 parts. That's counting as the sequel. So no, we're done. We're done.
That's against our rules.
Or I'll just hide like I did with Realist Tarot season 2.
All right, Caroline. How much do you hate Bastard? This is your chance.
Surprisingly, I do not hate it as much as Mason. I did not expect Mason to be so full of hatred for this show more than I was. There are certain things in this show that I have. There are a couple of things with the show that I really disliked, but there were only a couple. They were major things, but only a couple. There were a few things that I did like. The music was really cool. The character designs are good. There's some funny jokes in here. It's entertaining enough for me. It wasn't a complete slog to get through, even if I didn't finish it. But it's not the worst show I have ever seen.
Is it better than Realist Hero?
It is better than Realist Hero.
Wow.
I will say that, perhaps. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Realist Hero is not exactly hard to beat. I mean,
you hate that fucking anime.
I fucking hate that anime.
That's exciting.
At the very least, the harem had, interesting enough characters in it, I think. Dark Schneider is fun enough, even if he is being a pervert. And yeah, it's a problematic show, and I don't think I would want to watch a season 2. But if I was forced to by this podcast, I would be like, okay, fine.
Dedication.
I wouldn't be super angry about it. I wouldn't be as angry about it as having to watch Realist Hero season 2. So with that, I will give this show 2 spells of flight.
Wow.
Said it again and again and again out of 5.
Wow. I just changed my wallpaper to Bastard on my podcast laptop. Very nice wallpaper.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's see. 6 plus that's 3.3. 3. So it averages to a 3.
Oh wait, you gave it a 3.5. Mm-hmm. I gave it a half.
Oh, it's a 2. You're right.
It's an average of a 2. So I believe Raggedy Doctor wins the bet.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, Ghost. I didn't help you on this one.
Wow. All right. Well, guys, that was our podcast for today. We do appreciate that you stick with us and continue to listen because we love our anime addicts. Again, if you want to follow us online, we are all over the social medias. We're on Twitch live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We're on Twitter. We are on at AAA Podcast. We're on Facebook. We are on Discord. If you head over to the Discord, you can apparently become a degenerate anime gambler.
Do it. It helps the podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
Or at least becomes more fun.
Are we getting a rake off of all these bets?
Not quite.
Yeah, and guys, thanks for tuning in. Next week, I believe that we will be reviewing Cyberpunk Edge Runners, as it is the hot item at the moment. So stay tuned for that. And again, as always, if you want to support the podcast, aapodcast.com/join our Patreon. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for all you do. Goodbye.
See you later, guys.
Adios.